Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we are going to talk about my daily planner. I'm moving out of my old daily planner and into a new one. Not in this video, but in this video I'm going to talk about why I'm going into a new planner, what worked for me and what didn't. And then in a separate video, maybe I can show me moving into my new planner. So my current daily planner is this one. It's a classic Happy Planner. Well, the cover is Happy Planner. The inserts are my own. And let me flip over to the current week. This is what I have been using for a couple months. A to-do list that is broken up in a personal and work section and a time blocking section and a tiny little note section at the bottom. The time blocking section honestly was just me being extra. I don't need it because I have a daily planner, I have a weekly planner that is hourly that has all of that for me. And this week looks like this, and next week. So I have my time blocking here. I have this sitting on the desk next to me, open. So when I need to see my sessions, all I have to do is just spin my desk chair around and glance at my open weekly planner. Or I can just pull up my Google Calendar on my laptop in front of me and look at what's going on for the day as far as sessions and appointments. So me having a time blocking on my daily planner was just me being extra, because it's nice to see my tasks for the day next to my hourly appointments for the day. And the reason that I'm going from this daily planner to a different one is because I am switching out of this weekly planner into a smaller one. This is a big size Happy Planner, so it's 8.5 by 11, and I have two more weeks. I have this week here, and then the week after that, and then we're done in this planner. And we're starting a new planner in July. In July, we are starting this planner. It's an Erin Condren 7 by 9.25 planner. It's the same size as this Happy Planner Classic. So because I'm going to a smaller weekly planner, I wanted to go to a smaller daily planner. And the smaller daily planner is going to be a Happy Planner Mini. I do not know the dimensions of the Happy Planner Mini off the top of my head. I believe that it's somewhere around 5 by 7. I know this cover, I'm pretty sure, is 5 by 7, so the inserts are a tiny bit smaller than that. This is a Happy Planner Disney cover that was originally, I believe, a horizontal undated planner, and I took the planner guts out and I'm just using the cover. I still have the guts somewhere and I don't know if I'll use them or not. I'm thinking not, but I have them just in case. I might give them away or something. And what I did was I put in other paper. This is paper that came from a journal or a notebook of mine that I didn't like because the lines are too wide. I believe this is wide ruled paper, and I like writing on college ruled paper. So I wasn't going to use this notebook for note taking or journaling or anything. So I took it apart, I ripped the paper out, and I cut them down to fit in my mini planner because I wanted to repurpose the paper. It's really nice paper. It's thick. It feels really nice. I believe, I don't know what thickness it is, but it feels like at least 28-pound paper to me. And I didn't want to be wasteful. So I think it was originally an A5 book. So I did have to trim down every single paper for it to fit in here, but I'm glad that I did that. These pages here is me experimenting with printing out my own inserts for my to-do lists. My new mini planner is not going to have the time blocking on it. It won't fit. I would have to, if I did do that, I would have to have like my to-do lists here, and then the next page have my time blocking. I think I want to get rid of the daily time blocking. I'm just going to have my to-do lists. That's why I'm not sure it's a planner, because it's just going to be a running to-do list. I'm not going to have, I might have some note taking, probably not though. I'm not going to have time blocking on it. I'm not going to have journaling. It's just going to be a running to-do list. And this to-do list is the same one that I had in my classic insert. It worked really well for me. The lines are long enough for me. They are narrow enough. I almost never ran out of space. I would occasionally run out of space in my work to-do list, but I would just continue down into the notes section. So it worked well for me, so I thought I would try making inserts for my mini planner. But I don't need to make inserts if I have this other paper that I want to use and repurpose. So this is me experimenting with how I'm going to have my to-do list. For this, I used this stencil here. It is a Happy Planner stencil. It came 2 in a pack, so it came with this one too. This one I don't really use. Sometimes I use the header stencils and the squiggle line, but I don't really use it. This is what I use most of the time. So I took this stencil and I used it on this paper to see if it would work for me. It doesn't work for me because these lines are not as narrow as these. So I get way fewer lines from the stencil than I do my inserts. So the stencil is not going to work for me. I tried outlining the actual lines themselves that are already on the paper and tracing them with a pen. I didn't like this because I would have to get a ruler out. I would have to trace every line with a ruler, and then one side, like either sides are not going to be perfectly symmetrical, and that was going to bother me. So then I tried this. And here I am still using the actual lines on the paper. They're really, really, really faint, which is cool. And I outlined them in a highlighter. I liked this. I liked highlighting my lines and just writing on the highlighted line. And because it's a highlighter, the edges are not, even though they're not perfectly symmetrical, it doesn't bother me as much, or if at all, as this does. So I thought, perfect. This is my new to-do list. but it's not. And it's not because I don't have enough lines for my work and my personal to-do lists. I don't have enough lines. And the lines on the paper are, I think, a tiny bit wider than the stencil. The stencil is just a smidge more narrow than the lines on the paper. So I would be getting even fewer lines if I were to do it this way than if I do them this way with the stencil. So then I thought, what if I cut it in half? And I got this. So I still outline every line with my highlighter, but then I draw a line down the middle and I do one side of it is personal and the other side is work. And this is what I'm going to stick with. I am going to modify this just a tiny little bit. I'm going to reduce this by one line so I can have a little more space on top for dating the paper and maybe decorating it. And this is the longest to-do list so far that I've had to do for work. So there's a very low chance that I would ever have more tasks than these right here for work. So I know I'm not going to run out of space for that. So this is what we're going to do, at least while I use up the rest of my repurposed journal paper. I think that I'm going to use one sheet per day, which is what I was doing in my classic daily planner. I did consider double-siding it. So let's say this is today is Sunday. So for tomorrow, for Monday, I would do Monday here and then Tuesday here, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and so on. I'm thinking that I want to stick to single-sided because for a couple of reasons. One reason is it will allow me to get through the rest of my repurposed paper quicker, twice as fast, right? And because I can use the other side for note-taking if I need to. Most of the time I don't, because I have a work note binder that I will write notes in when, not client like session notes, but if I'm on a phone call with a consult with a client, or if I'm on the phone with an insurance company, I will write my notes down in that work notebook. I only once or twice have I used note space on my daily planner for note taking. So I'm not 100% decided, but almost 100% decided that I am going to single side my daily planner. And then once I use up the rest of my paper, I will hopefully have a perfected insert printed out that I can start putting in here. Here you can tell that I was trying to figure out how to align it, and they ended up being all over the place. I still have not figured it out. This is the closest I got to what I want. It's right down the middle, and this might be the one I end up with. The other thing I liked about this paper is that because it's good quality, thicker paper, the highlighter doesn't bleed through. This is a Sharpie Bright Liner grip, and I got this in a 4-pack with other pastel colors. I think one was yellow, pink, and blue, and they're just extra light, like pastel shades, way lighter than these fat Sharpies or these Sharpie S notes. I can't find my other colors though. This green one is the only one I can find. So I will have to use the green one. I think there's still a lot of fun I can have with this daily planner. I won't be able to decorate it to the extent that I was decorating my classic size daily planner. I was really like going above and beyond in decorating that planner. And I won't be able to do that with this. I may be able to decorate the bottom border and maybe the top border, and that's it. That's not a bad thing though. It will certainly save me a lot of time, and I think that when I would decorate my classic size planner, it wasn't a time waster because it's obviously something I enjoy doing. It is part of my self-care. I find it therapeutic and I enjoy it. So it's not a time waster, but it would still take me like an hour and a half to decorate my 7 days of the week. So decorating my mini size planner will probably take 20 minutes at most. And hopefully I will still enjoy it. I think I will. What else? Oh, well, once I finish this version of my to-do list and I go to this version of it, I will have more room. I will have more room for decorating. I'll be able to decorate the 2 sides and maybe the top. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking so far. I think calling it a daily planner will be mostly out of habit, but technically it's not a planner. Every page will be dated, of course, but I don't think it will actually be a planner, so I can call it my daily notebook. That's probably more accurate. I do enjoy making my own inserts for sure. They do take a long time for me to figure out with the sizing and everything, but once I find the right size and the right alignment for the size paper that I'm using, I'm good to go. Like I don't have to change it again. But it does take a lot of trial and error. Aside from spending the time on figuring out the design, the insert design, I end up taking up a lot of time cutting down my paper to size because I'm printing on 8.5 by 11 paper, and then I have to trim down every sheet. So this is my final result. This is what I'm going to go with starting tomorrow, and I'm going to sit down and do this for the week ahead, and I will decorate it. And if I think that it's a enjoyable enough activity for someone else to watch, I might consider recording it going forward, but I don't think it would be enjoyable. It will be enjoyable for me to do, but I doubt that it would be very enjoyable for you to watch. We'll see. A lot of times I figure stuff out as I'm saying it out loud, so I appreciate you listening to my process. Again, feel free to let me know any thoughts on anything related to this, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you.